but I do have the sunblock on as I got a little sunburnt yesterday. But yeah, I'm super excited for today. We got a nice lineup of some mixed and women's ultimate. We've been covering the open division mostly so far this tournament, but it's great to have some mixed and women's games on the schedule as well.
I imagine you get sunburned when you open the fridge, Liam, don't you? That light comes on and... Let's see what's going on down here. The game advisor is bringing the disc to the edge of the pitch. And then play is continuing. Sabogal with the disc for Colombia. Cook coming down the line, fast and aggressive. Number 18 shirt, Ramirez. Low disc from Ramirez, it's a mistake. And foul called, uncontested. The disc is going to come back to Ramirez. Tap in. Didn't go to the reset early enough. It could have come out, but it's breaking right across the pitch, and that's beautifully read by the number 75 shirt. Not the disc that he was intending. Oh, and it's a drop on the edge of the end zone. Colombia with an opportunity to score, but the Philippines have been given the disc back. It was a solid offensive point up until that couple of mistakes towards the end of that one, but Colombians have been given the disc back from a mistake by the Philippines. Another chance to advance. Sabogal with the disc. And a bit flying from the Philippines defender there, but still it lands safely with the Colombians. Swinging across the pitch, available in lots of space. Surely a score here. Very nicely done from the Colombian ladies, the 75 and 17 combination of Avila and Martinez with the score there. Impressive flow from both these teams so far, Liam.
Yeah, the Colombians are really using the break side to get that goal. It's a few buttery backhands, just hitting that far side corner. Yeah, both these teams got a lot of flair. They're well known for their songs and their dances and bring a lot of excitement to the ultimate field. The Colombians hosted the World Games about 2 years ago, and I know the two coaches participated, and they're bringing a lot of experience to this team and giving some great advice. And I know they did really well in Dublin about 2 years ago at the 2012 the World Juniors. The women's coming first and the men coming second at that tournament. So they've got a great youth development program there, and I think they're going to be a really strong team.
I think it's a mark of how far this sport has stretched now. We've got teams like the Philippines and the Colombians coming to London for World Championships, and no doubt they'll be back again next year for WUGC, held at the same venue. As the 0 of Higuera pulls the disc and it lands. Crossfield passes quickly, backhands and back again. It's a man defense from Colombia, but the Philippines are advancing. It sends it deep. The deep shot's going to go underneath. Oh, what a read and what a grab from number 6. Vibar reading that disc. It was a sweet shot. Do you see who the assist was, Liam?
No, I did not, Tom. But some beautiful play from the Philippines. They look so smooth on offense right now. Yeah, they're just flowing up the field. These guys play a lot in sand in the Boracay or Manila, but very comfortable on the grass as well. And I know we have a lot of siblings out there as well. I think there's 4 or 5 sets of siblings on the field, so they got chemistry. They know each other.
It must be quite an interesting mix here. We were pointed out to speak to Jessica de Leon and Jacob de Leon. Jessica, the older sister, and Jacob, the younger brother. They are in the 20 shirt, Jessica, and 30 shirt for Jacob. Big players. The de Leon family, hope you're watching in the Philippines. Kids are doing you proud right now. If you are watching, if you're in Colombia, it's probably a very, very early morning for you. If you're in the Philippines, it's probably quite a nice relaxed afternoon game, this one for you. Wherever you are, do tweet us, hashtag WU23UC. WU23UC is our hashtag on Twitter. Sky Magazine will be tweeting bits and pieces as well, at Sky Magazine. And the Colombians, 18 shirt. Ramirez getting, but the block comes from the Philippines. I think we're going to see a lot of Ramirez in this game. Fast cutting up the line. Philippines looking strong on the disc and looking aggressive with all of their cuts. It's a shot to the end zone again, but that might be a bit deep. He's going to be right at the back. Did he keep his toes in? The game advisors keep their hands by their side, but no, he's called himself out. He's called himself out.
Yeah, that was the first spicy throw we've seen from the Philippines. They've been so solid with just their little short break passes, but looking to bang that one in the end zone didn't quite come up.
Yeah, a little bit of nerve, bit of adrenaline running through, and Colombians winding up for 3 or 4 big shots there, but didn't take any of them. Sabogal again. And this time it's something does come out. It's going to be chased down, but it's hard pressure from the Philippines and the Colombians. Huge bids over there. Now they slap hands. It was impressive D from the 10 shirt of Titular. Getting up and impressive. Good discs though.
Yeah, huge D there by Titular. It's interesting that both teams are quite short, so maybe they'll have in this division find themselves getting a few height mismatches, but they're evenly matched here, so we're going to see some great plays in the air because they may be small, but they're well able to jump.
10 shirts of Titular doing a lot of work out there, but that disc from him is out of the side of the pitch. And Sabogal comes to pick up again for Colombia. Cutting from the 4 shirts, downfield options, but he goes for the swing. Ramirez, 18 and 15 is Agudelo. Well, that's a really risky disc over the top, but Ramirez is there, catches it safely. Darting around, nice safe reset, but pressure from the Philippines as they go diving, laying out long. There's no options downfield. Bit of frustration from Sabogal, but Ramirez again, there's 2 of them, Sabogal and Ramirez running the play, and a mistake. Outstretched Martinez, not able to grasp the disc fully, and it goes to ground. Philippines have got it once more.
Yeah, we see Ramirez really trying to run this offense. Notably got a little rat's tail haircut that we like here at Sky Magazine. In contention for the best hair at this tournament.
Yeah, there's quite some competition on the hair fronts, isn't it? But Ramirez putting his entry in nice and early. Fast, aggressive throws from the Philippines again. Big swing available now. Loads of space on this side of the pitch for Philippines to advance. It's a bobble and it's pressure from the Colombians that eventually gets that block. Great defense there from the 15 shirt of Agudelo. And again we see Sabogal and Ramirez. Disc goes across to Castaneda. Sabogal again. Finds Martinez. Ramirez again in the middle of the pitch, seeing a small number of players. Oh, outstretched. Sabogal, no question. He was going down quick and he was going down hard for that one, but he got it anyway. Castaneda. Hammer, it's into the end zone. It's beautifully caught. It's well judged, perfectly read. There's still morning air here in London. And a goal is scored for the Colombians. And it's a very close game, Liam. Very close game.
Yeah, that was a nice sugar-coated hammer there from the Colombians. Expect to see those kind of throws from those players. That's the style they have. You know, they're not afraid to execute that difficult throw, and that was a beautiful, beautiful hammer there.
We've seen very few hammers the first couple of days of play because this swirling wind has made them very unpredictable. But so this morning it's much more settled. The flags behind us here on the stands, if you can see the red coat and the red-headed man standing at the top of the stands at the top of your picture, that's myself and Liam. And we are not nearly as cold and blustery as we have been over the previous couple of days. It's been chilly on occasions, and some of the players coming wrapped in sort of 4 or 5 layers. Yesterday morning, not warm at all. The Colombians with the disc flying high from Suarez. Right at the back of the end zone. And a zone from Colombia. Spreading across, and the Philippines so far making easy work of that. And a travel's been called, advancing too quickly. The Colombians have asked him to go back. That was on the previous pass. Coming back in. Outstretched hand, not the perfect shot. And a little bit, asking a little bit much of the 9 shirt of Chao. Disc was high and with an outstretched hand, couldn't quite reach it, and the turnover goes. The Colombians have got the disc again with the 1 shirt of Rodriguez. Nice exchange of disc with Higuera and Rodriguez, and back to Higuera again. And there's been a pick called on the play. Game advisors doing the gun show symbol there, which is the pick call. Sort of arms at right angles, side by side, like you're doing your He-Man pose. That is a pick. Very helpful, these game advisors to us in the stands. Both spectators and commentators alike benefiting enormously from having that accelerated perspective of what's going on the pitch. They are close to it and they can hear it. They're the only people allowed to run down the sideline. And we've got Rodriguez with the disc again for Colombia. Marked by Medrano in the 5 shirt. Rodriguez, Higuera. And laying out low, not able to get that one up off the ground. Philippines have got it once more. Near the sideline, swinging it across the zone from the Colombians again. Philippines making light work of it so far. This cup is going to have to work really hard if they're going to contain the way the Philippines are playing here. Making quick and fast, but they're calling the travels. Calling travels, that's the second travel we've heard from the Colombians.
Yeah, the Colombians are employing a 3-2-2 zone there, and it's looking well. Really spreading out the genders as well, so there's a female player deep as well to help out. And it seems to be causing a little bit of trouble for the Philippines, but I think they'll figure this one out fairly quickly.
Well, if they keep making mistakes like that, they might stick with it longer than we expect. The Colombians have sent it. Rodriguez winding up and putting that disc to nobody in particular, and it's gone to ground. And the Philippines starting again. This time it's a man defense for the Philippines. I think he's just had his foot trodden on. Or cramp.
I don't know, I expect the Philippines have quite strong feet from running on the sand every day, so it shouldn't be too hard for this fella. I think he's ready to go again. The
13 shirt of Santos exchanging discs. Colleague. And a solid defense run down there from Truque. He had the pace all the way through that cut, chasing him down all the way into the end zone. And get the block right on the end zone line. Real opportunity here as Rodriguez comes to pick up the disc again. No, decides she's had a mistake this game, leaves it to Suarez instead. Suarez looking for an option, and there it is. He makes himself wide open. Lopez at the back of the end zone for the Colombians. 3-2, they lead this one against the Philippines in the mixed division. You're watching Skyd Magazine's coverage with myself, Tom Stiles, and Liam Grant up here in the stands on the show pitch in London.
Yeah, that was some magnificent defense there by the Colombians. They're able to shut down that Philippines O-line 2 or 3 times. It's the first break we've seen of the game, and they're getting excited on that far side.
Yeah, both these teams looking very fast and fluid on offense, but a few mistakes from the Philippines have cost them that point there. Colombians' aggressive defense was what won them that turnover. Really closing down the space. They changed away from their zone pretty quickly because the Philippines looked very effective at getting through that, but they might win the foot race in a one-on-one defense. There was quite a conversation on Twitter last night about gender-neutral defensive terms. So man-on-man is clearly not gender-neutral. So we're going to try and work on a few options that were suggested in the Twitter comments yesterday. Appreciate the conversation. It helps us out a lot. My favourite, I think, is one-on-one because it's in my mind, most accurately portrays what's happening. And we've got a one-on-one defense here already. The Philippines under a lot of pressure. They're back in their own half, heavily in their own half, but they're making progress now with the 3 shirt of Bastusta. Forward pass down the line, pings it into the end zone. Is it going to be coming down with the big pressure from the Colombians? A little bit of a knock forced the Philippines player to the ground there before the disc arrived, but the Colombian had position on that disc all the way there. Lays a disc down to Rodriguez. Rodriguez with a long ponytail and the visor, progressing nicely through 19 and 11 shirts of Heredia. And again, a turnover. The Philippines picking up again. Quick starts. Moving the disc quickly up the sideline. Going to have to go for a reset. She's gone for a shot into the end zone as we pressure under this from the Colombians. And the two Colombian players just taking each other out. An elbow to the face. A 19 shirt. It's not on our roster, unfortunately.
Yeah, I did some research on this Colombian team. I think 12 teams on this roster have never even left Colombia before this. So this must be a great experience for them to see a different country and to see different teams and experience this tournament.
Rodriguez going up underneath that disc, which it's brought down by a compatriot Heredia. But Rodriguez has got it once more. 19 shirt for Colombia. Nice disc underneath. Rodriguez again, really trusted player in this Colombian line. And forward disc, making lots of yards with a single pass. And again, good cuts from the Colombians, giving space and options into the end zone. Great bid from the Philippines, a 21 shirt of Bautista, outstretched and horizontal to get that disc. And the defense is a turnover for the Philippines.
Yeah, some good defensive pressure by the Colombians, but not able to execute all of their throws. We see number 1, Anna, really trying to command this offense. She's really shouting for the disc and wants to run this Colombian team.
Disc is up, it's high, it's going to be pressure underneath it. Not quite enough pressure from the Philippines to keep that disc alive. They've turned it over again, and they can't really afford to do that too often because the Colombians are looking impressive when they've got the disc. The 19 shirt again. And a double-handed layout, very committed grab there from the 14 shirt of Colombia, Almanza. Shapes that disc beautifully, Io. Molano. Again, the 19 shirt. It's a shame we don't have her name because she's playing fantastically, but a foul's been called on the play. A pick has been called. Still London air, filled with the excited cheers of South American and Southeast Asian ultimate this morning down here in London. There's the 10 shirt. Rivera starts this play for the Colombians. They're looking down the line. It's big, outstretched, athletic bid from the 14 shirt of Almanza. But it goes to ground. A few mistakes from both teams. There's been multiple turnovers in this point already.
Yeah, this one's getting a bit sloppy. At the start of the game, the Philippines look so sharp, and then we see the Philippines calling a timeout. I think that's a great call. Just calm their offense down and trying to work this one in a bit safer.
So it was a bit nervous at the start of the game if 1 point gets a little bit out of control. Sensible call from the Philippines then. So we are on Twitter this morning, myself and Liam Grant. Are you on Twitter yourself, Liam?
I had never used Twitter until today, I'm going to say, Tom. I've abstained from that sense of social media. Just don't give me enough characters. I'm a man with a lot of things to say, and I never like that. But I am doing the Sky Magazine Twitter today, so if you message that, you'll be able to get through to me, and you can tell me how great I'm doing. But yeah, I'm more of a fan of the Instagram and Snapchats, I'm afraid.
So at Magazine if you want to email or if you want to message Liam or the Sky Magazine crew. We've got Elliot watching in the USA, keeping an eye on everything we're doing over here and making sure that all the social media bits and pieces that need covering over there are covered. I'm at Tom Styles if you want to get me directly. But really the best way to get in touch with us for Twitter is using the hashtag WU23UC. That's World Under-23 Ultimate Championships, WU23UC on the hashtag. Just follow that and send us a tweet. Mention the live stream. We'll see if we can get a mention for you.
Yeah, I've been really impressed with the Colombians so far. Great structure on offense and defense. We've seen them throw a few zones. We've seen them switch up vert stack and horizontal stack. And I'd say that's coming down to the coaches Ilana and Julio, who had been part of the World Games team that did very well in Colombia in 2013. I know they finished 4th, and they had some great wins against Canada and Great Britain, some really strong ultimate nations. So Colombia have put their name in the hat for being a really top nation for ultimate, and we're seeing that now. Philippines more associated with beach. Earlier on this year, the open team came 3rd at World Beach in Dubai, and the mixed team came 5th. So I like to see them doing well here on grass as well.
There's a rich and growing pedigree for both these teams. And it's a colourful scene down here in the morning. The crowds in the stands are growing, but so far pretty subdued. They're watching an entertaining game with a few mistakes. You're listening to Tom Styles and Liam Grant from Sky Magazine, covering this second morning of a full day's play in the mixed division. Philippines and Colombia are the two teams in front of us. Philippines in blue, and they've got the disc right now. And under pressure in the middle of their end zone. They send a big disc. It's going to be floating. It's going to be high. It's going to be chased down by the Philippines, but it's too far ahead. They have turned it over, but again, they've turned it over with a deep shot. We've seen a second time that where they've got a high stall count and they've sent it deep rather than getting turned over in their own end zone line. And Rodriguez for Colombia again, really running the play here, looking at the backhand escape, and she finds it. That's the second time we've seen a really lovely IO disc from the 10 shirt of Rivera. It's 14 now. Almanza. Rivera's got the disc again. Oh, the disc is beyond him. So Milano there. The disc just going beyond him, stretching out his hand. The Philippines have been given the disc once more. Colombians just making a few mistakes so far in this game, Liam.
Yeah, trying some tricky throws there, especially number 10. But he does have an arsenal of magnificent breaks, and it's very fun to watch. But maybe pushing it a little too much, trying to force those difficult throws.
The 10 shirt of Rivera, impressive with the handling so far. But now we're talking about the Philippines. 14 is Delavin. And he sends it again. We've been a high stall count, deep shot from the Philippines. Goes straight to ground. Really struggling to get that first pass out when they're trapped on the line. Great work from the Colombian defense to put that pressure on, stop those first passes, get the stall count high, and then just bailing out from the Philippines. That's been the story twice in this point already. A bit of barging around for Milano to deal with there. Sorry, for Rivera to deal with, and it's a turnover for the Philippines. High grab needed because the disc was a little bit above the receiver there. Down the line, nice continuation from the 24 shirt for the Philippines, looking across the end zone, but straight into the hands of the Colombians. They've got a pressure. They've got the disc back once more. And trying to make some fast progress here. Making good use of the available players, and a nice transition from D to O there. The disc to Rodriguez is low, and she has to go to ground and struggles to get up. But still fluid downfield cuts coming. Clogging in the space a little bit, but it's coming back around the pitch to Rodriguez. The Philippines D wise to that one and stops that continuation shot. Rivera, 14, Delavin. And it's a goal for Colombia. They score this one nicely.
Yeah, well-earned point there by Colombia. Yeah, Philippines not so tight on O there. Really missing out on Kimi Yo, their #1 handler, who really worked in their first 2 O points with ease and grace. But he's not on the line again. I think they really need to get him out there to settle this offense, because no one has handled quite like him for the Philippines so far.
Yeah, they did look like a completely different team that first 2 points, really strong and confident, and they've sort of lacked that edge. And the Colombian defense just a little bit more assured. But both teams have got plenty of pace in their line, and they've got a lot of exciting skills as well. Who have we got? Both these teams lining up. And a variety of colourful boots these days as well, Liam. This is something that has changed enormously over the last 5 years. Is if you haven't got some sort of bright fluorescent boot on, you're obviously not a player.
Yeah, I'm sure back in your day, Tom, everyone was wearing clogs, or I don't know what you were doing, but yeah, it's all fashionable these days. The luminous yellows and orange are a big one. Just if you've got fast feet, you want them to look good as well.
Complete blur. You talk about my day like it was some distant memory. My day wasn't that long ago. Anyway, the Philippines. Titular for the 10 shirts. We've got the zone defense from Colombia. Working hard, that 3-person cut spread across the pitch, and it's still spread, and it's being exposed quite a lot by the Philippines as they go. And a travel called again. This is the 3rd travel call. It seems the Philippines are going to have to be really careful unless the Colombians are going to calm down a little bit with that, but they make smooth moves all the way into the end zone. The 10-8 combination of Titular to Martinez. Bia Martinez is the score eventually for the Philippines. They bring one back. It's 4-3 here to the Colombians leading this one. But we saw that zone from Colombians get torn apart a little bit there, Liam.
Yeah, we see it work the first time they used it. Well, I was even surprised then it worked. The Philippines, quite short, snappy players. That seems like the kind of play that suit them. There's not much wind today as well, so they didn't even try to throw over, but I'm sure they could as well, and with no wind. So I don't think the Colombians will be using that one again. I think they looked much better with the human-on-human defense.
The human-on-human defense, that is very gender neutral, isn't it? Yeah, their one-to-one defense has been very impressive from the Colombians so far. They hold hands on the line, prepared, united. They wait for this disc to come down. The Philippines with it at the moment, with an array of brightly coloured feet. The disc is in the air.
Yeah, I'm loving this holding hands signaling from the pull from the Colombians. Really shows unity in team. I don't think I've ever seen this before. I played on a team that we used to clap and all signal our hands together, but they've stepped it up with this holding hands signaling for the pull.
Colombians with the disc now, finding a nice shot down the line. Right on the edge, it's going to go deep. It's going to be deep by the Philippines. Plenty of time there for Jacob De Leon to read that one. Sends it to the ground. It was a good shot, but a little bit too low. Jacob had read it perfectly, got across there and got the block.
Yeah, I think he's winning the stats competition with his sister on the line as well. I'm sure they're a little competitive who gets what. But I think Jacob is also the captain of this team. So great D there, really tracking that one down.
Philippines, see if we can make a better progress out of this corner. Beautiful break across the pitch, but a mistake with the continuation pass gives it back to the Colombians. They start to make progress against once more right across the pitch. And this time the disc goes out of the side of the pitch. And the Philippines have got it back once more. Both these teams making some fairly basic errors with their throws. The cuts are looking solid. They're all getting free of their opposition, but impressive layout defense from the 4-shirt of Castaneda. Getting that block for Colombia.
I'm not even sure if he got a hand to this. Just put a huge amount of pressure on his receiver, and I think the receiver just might have dropped that one. But it really made a really difficult catch by the pressure from his defender.
So we've seen Sabogal and Ramirez, we're putting that disc across, but the disc forward wasn't a good one, and the Philippines have got it back again. Exchanging discs to that side, jamming into the end zone. It's beautifully done from the Philippines. They score that one. Extremely confident, quick play from the turnover. The 14 shirt of Delavin for the Philippines with the score there. And they tie this one up at 4 apiece, and what looked like quite a strong start from the Colombians has been brought back and reined in by a strong Philippines performance so far.
Yeah, some colossal play there by number 88, Anjo. You saw him do a little tasty crossfield break at the starting point, and he was really the orchestrator of that score there as well. A little quick give and go, quick hands from the number 88, Anjo.
So we've talked previously about the number of turnovers and sort of errors that you get at this level. You know, we're talking about under 23s, so players with a lot of athleticism and a fair bit of experience, but still not quite that same level of commitment to the 100% disc that you sort of see in the senior game. But it is certainly leading to exciting games that we've watched, on a whole bunch of layouts and athleticism from players of both teams and both sexes.
Yeah, I think as we see this competition progress, I feel you're going to see less of that. I watched the Germans play yesterday, Germans the Open Division, and I can tell you what, they weren't turning over. They weren't making bad decisions. And that will be the kind of play that will win this tournament.
Ramirez, Sabogal. Progressing the disc across the pitch. Castaneda. Rodriguez. Castaneda. Bit of pressure from the defense, but he still gets a nice disc out across the pitch, making good progress. The Colombians, this is beautiful flowing offense, but it's going to be out the side by quite a margin there. A mistake from the 15 shirt of Agudelo.
Yeah, I don't know what he was thinking there. I think he was throwing to one of the photographers on the sideline. I don't think she wanted it either.
She would have got a wonderful photograph of an out-of-bounds disc there. Philippines with the disc. That's a beautiful break. Io across the pitch into the middle, finding space. And a reset. Only looks off a couple of cuts. He's looked off another cut. That is a terrible, terrible look-off. And still looking for a shot to space, which didn't exist. Well, that's some poor handling.
Yeah, Kimiso started that one off with a buttery inside break and then just looks off the receiver in the lane. I don't know what he was thinking there.
He looked off 2 receivers in the lane, and the second one was so free. No excuses, really. Looking for that break force when there really was no need. Take the open shot, but the Colombians advancing now. They put it into the end zone and take the lead again. 5-4 they've got this one so far, but the Philippines, the architects of their own downfall with some poor handling decisions. I think this is really the first time we've seen that sort of hesitancy and not taking the first shot. They've been pretty good at that so far.
Yeah, that was Kimiso, my favorite handler so far, who did so well in the first 2 points. Yeah, just looked off. He grabbed his head when the Colombians scored at that point, and it was maybe his fault that they lost that one. But I'm sure we'll see some more solid performances from him as this game goes on.
And the Philippines team hailing mainly from Manila. We were chatting to the coach Ping earlier, and there's a lot of siblings, he was saying, in this squad. Obviously a lot of opportunity to practice if you've got a brother or sister that plays as well. That sort of time on the disc is irreplaceable in terms of practice.
Yeah, they're not just coaching players down in the Philippines. I think they're actually breeding them. Getting a few more children there, siblings, trying to have 7 on the line. Good stuff from the Philippines. That's what we like to see. Keep on producing some great players.
10 shirt, Tichula, mainstay of the back of this handling line. And it's a zone again of types for the Colombians, pretty loose. And they're not quite seeing the structure that they need yet. Looking for a shot into the end zone. They've caught themselves in the corner, made good progress up here. And, oh, so unlucky. The disc was slightly behind her. She reached back, she got her fingertips to it and looked like she had control, but the spill when she got to the ground doesn't count for anything. And the Colombians have really got out of jail there. That zone that they've been trying to work with And it looked slightly different on that occasion, but still very ineffective at preventing these Philippines team from making any progress.
Yeah, a little different that zone. It seemed downfield they're just trying to set up temporary double coverage. It doesn't look like any one player was covering any particular part of the field, but just looking to switch lots downfield.
And a good recovery, second time grab from the 19 shirt for Colombia. The disc from the 12 shirt, Suarez, though, goes to ground, and the Philippines are given another opportunity. Grabs high, looking for a backhand into the end zone, takes it, but the Colombians have read that disc. And the disc is over the top, a poor shot to the end zone, perhaps a little bit too hasty there. And the Colombians had made good pace with their defender, and it's turned over again once more. We've seen multiple turnovers in this point. Philippines coming to pick up 13 shirt of Santos, jabbing it into the end zone. It's nicely done and well read and perfectly grabbed, going to ground, taking a hurdling Colombian player over the top of his head. But the Philippines score it, and they've leveled it back up again once more. It's 5 apiece in this mixed division game, pool round match between the Philippines and Colombia. Oh, I think we're in for a real spectacle here, Liam. This couldn't be closer. Both teams making enough mistakes to make the game exciting, but also showing an awful lot of promise.
Yeah, really evenly matched teams here, so it should make for an exciting game. I know yesterday we had a few slaughterings, but I think this one will go down to the wire. Yeah, both teams may be lacking strong handlers, that's what's leading to a couple of turnovers. When they have their strongest line out there, they seem happy moving this around, but maybe their D-line offense just isn't quite as tight. I'd like to say hello to some of the people watching us. If you are watching us, doesn't matter where you are watching us, please do send us a tweet. Felicity Perry is watching. Hello, Flea. Are they getting free on offense or both teams trailing on D? I'm going to say they're getting free because they're very quick, good changes of direction. Aggressive defense from Philippines once more, but the Colombians have got the disc. Making good progress at the pitch. Agudelo. Nice shot inside the player. In front of his advancing mark. Very difficult disc to make that one. Ramirez exchanging disc. That's just the boys running the play, but here comes Rodriguez now, and she's... foul has been called on the arm. It was certainly a disagreement from the number 9 shirt, the game advisors. Just coming into they're being asked their opinion, at least the Colombians are asking for an opinion. What was your opinion, Liam? There was definitely some contact there. We see Dominic Smith on the sideline as the game advisor getting involved. It seemed like he had a great perspective, so I'm sure they'll listen to his voice and come up to a good resolution for this one.
Now, I got the feeling that that was probably fair, that defense, but that's very difficult to tell at full speed. No, it's been uncontested. It was a foul, so Rodriguez stays with the disc for Colombia. Now, a pick has been called. Everyone doing the gun show all around the pitch and certainly on the sidelines. Rodriguez for Colombia, midway up the pitch. Sends the disc right across, floaty, losing some yards here for Colombia, but they've still got possession. Nice sidearm, but the catch is incomplete. It bobbles out of her hands. The Philippines looking for a quick start. It's jabbed forward, it's caught nicely. De Leon into the end zone. Colombia reading it so well, poaching off his man. A foul has been called. 15 shirt of Agudelo reading and predicting what was going to happen. Poached off his player, but the foul's been called. It's been uncontested. Great to see the spirit coming into play there, and the Philippines have taken the lead for the first time in this game. They lead this one 6-5 is the score.
Yeah, gargantuan performance there by Jacob De Leon. He looks so good on defense. For those of you who's following him around the field, he's shutting down his man left, right, and center. Seems he's going beast mode at the moment, and he could be the guy to take this for the Philippines.
Well, the game is so finely in the balance. A strong performance by a single player could really be the turning point and the factor that changes it around. We've seen a little bit of disquiet. The body language from the Colombians as they wander off the pitch just looks a little bit less positive. Maybe the Philippines hadn't expected to do as well as they're doing, and the Colombians had expected to do better, but expectations count for nothing once you start playing against your opposition. Whistles signal. Colombians got their hands in the air, all as one. Our cameras tend to follow the disc as it comes down the pitch, so you won't see the Colombians doing their hand signal as they pick up the disc. Short pass right to the brick mark. Poachy one-on-one defense from Philippines. The disc has gone deep. So much space for Ramirez to collect that. So easy from and the Philippines are looking at each other like, how did he get so free? But Ramirez had a mile to play with there. The disc was perfection, and that's a very, very easy point, uncharacteristically for this game. 6-6 is the score.
Yeah, Ramirez had all day with that one. I think he was checking his Facebook as he's running that one down. He knew he had acres of room. Yeah, the Philippines going for quite a passive defense there, maybe sagging off on the handler marks, maybe trying to clog the lanes, not really expecting such a zippy throw to get to the end zone, but they were caught out there, and they need to really step up their defense if they want to win this game.
Exciting play from both teams. I hope you're enjoying watching it. You're watching Sky Magazine's coverage of the WFDF World Under-23 Ultimate Championships from the University College London Sports Ground here in St Albans. The wind is light, with a little bit of precipitation coming down. Not a great deal, but it might make the pitch a little slippy as the Philippines have got the disc. See they're making good progress downfield. Sidearm. And the jab into the end zone. It's going to be flying. There's going to be pressure under this from the Colombians, and a good block D. Gets a hand up early. And the disc floated a little bit too much. Wasn't aggressive enough from the Philippines. Shot into the end zone there. And they've given the disc back to the Colombians. If both these teams could cut out the mistakes, and then they're certainly creating enough pressure. If one of these teams could cut out the mistakes, then they'd win this game with ease, because they've been given the disc a lot. Colombia. It's again the 4 boys in this mixed team involved in those first 4 passes. Now the ladies are getting involved, but instead goes back across the pitch. And again, it's all male line from Colombia still, and now mistakes have come. Philippines getting their hands to that disc. Shot to the end zone. Is it going to be perfect? Oh, it's such a mistake. The disc was so nice, but it was quite quick. Cruz just couldn't quite get his hands around the disc. The shot was from number 10, Titular, who was trying to make take advantage of that fast turnover. And again, we see the Colombian boys for this mixed team doing most of the play. And the girls are deeper, not running aggressively, and in this case not running at all. Hang on, a call's been made on the play. This is a strategy you do occasionally see in the mixed game, is splitting the genders, but it's probably not that sustainable. So let's see what happens here. The Colombians still in their own end zone, and a pressure, possibility for a quick start, a quick score here. And he's put into the end zone for Philippines, and he's going straight to the game advisor. And the game advisor immediately tells the players to talk to each other rather than giving his opinion first. He wants the players to talk to each other first. One of the other Colombian players has conceded it on behalf of his teammates, so the 14 shirt of Almanza saying, no, that was a goal, that was a goal, that was fine.
Yeah, good call there by the advisor. You know, these aren't observers, they're not referees. We want the players to discuss the call first, and if they can't come to resolution, then maybe start using the game advisor. And fair play to one of the Colombians there stepping in and advising one of his own players to what happened, and the Colombian graciously conceding and happy to take the advice of his fellow teammates. So good spirit there from everyone on the field.
So the Philippines edging a lead again. They lead this one 7-6, and it's an interesting point when we're talking about end zone lines and whether you're in or out. It's very rare for the person that's closest to the disc to have a perspective that's worth anything, because they're chasing the disc, they're chasing you know, their offensive player. They're very rarely looking anywhere near their feet.
Yeah, of course. So that was a good call by the Colombian player. We see the Colombians predominantly using their men on offense. I'd like to see maybe the Filipino women maybe poaching off their mark and trying to get more involved and helping out their male defensive players, because the Colombians not really using their women, and the Philippines should be able to capitalize on that.
It's Ramirez with the disc. The Colombian sends a deep shot. It's going to be up in the air. It's going to be up in the air for a long time. Plenty of pressure building underneath this disc, and it's out of the side of the pitch anyway. It might have been out of the side of the pitch for a while. And a handling or defensive foul called as that disc went up. So a foul's been called as the disc went up by the handler. Certainly explains why the disc was so far out to the side of the pitch. Low hands, making it difficult to get a pass out. Pick has been called. The disc is going back. Colombia with it. Trail the Philippines 6-7 in this mixed division pool game. And the conversation continuing on down on the pitch. Not quite sure what stall count they're coming back in on. Darting, changing direction from the Colombian number 15 there, but it's misread by the handler, and the Philippines get that defense no problem at all. Miscommunication between receiver and handler, not something we've seen too much of today, but that was a clear example of where when it goes wrong, it does go badly wrong. Space over here, but the disc is going to be picked up by the Colombians. A good look if there's a jacket straight away. It's going to be round the side as this comes back in. No, it doesn't come back in enough. It was a nice disc, but the disc, if that had rolled back in, Ramirez was free, but it didn't stay in the air long enough, and by the disc going out and never coming back in, the Colombians have conceded an awful lot of ground back to the Philippines. The 88 shirt of Umali bangs the disc, looks fake the hammer as he walks to the line. Options in the end zone. He's got 3 in the zone, 1 cut coming, and that's just beyond his fingertips, just beyond the backup receiver's fingertips. The 14 and 9 shirts, Devlin and Chua, both beyond them.
Yeah, opportunity goes begging there for the Philippines. There was a free man on the open side, and they just couldn't connect. The throw maybe a little too far. I think the receiver was always kind of wanted a bit earlier as well. But opportunity gone begging for sure.
Yeah, the Colombians deserve some pressure for the mark was very, very close there, forcing that throw to be perfect, and it wasn't perfect. It was a little bit beyond them. Colombians with the disc now, looking to spread it wide. These fast-running cuts, but again a mistake from the not caught first time from the number 4 shirt of the Philippines, Castaneda. Umali gets the return disc, and another mistake between receiver and handler and receiver, and the disc is dobbed out of the sky by the Colombians. They've got it back once more. Look off for Rodriguez. Disc advancing. We've seen a strong performance from the 4 shirt of Castaneda, and a foul's been called. And he's going to use the opportunity to do his boots up. Castaneda. Sabogal. Finds Agudelo. Jabs it deep into the end zone. It's going to be hanging up there for a while, but not long enough for the Colombian ladies to chase it down. Two players running after that one, and it wasn't a bad disc, but it hadn't been read, and it just did not hang in the air long enough. Mistakes from the Colombians, and we saw them not make these mistakes in the first sort of 5 points of the game, but now they're coming thick and fast, Liam.
Yeah, I think the Philippines getting their matchups right here. Again, we see Jacob De Leon making a big deal around this point and putting a little more pressure on those male players. Know it's all going through them. We saw the Colombians get a big upfield gain when they started using their female players. I think they need to start doing that more, because I think they might have some mismatches there as well.
So De Leon on the 30 shirt marking up against the number 4 shirt of Castaneda, and they're returning that favour now. Castaneda marking De Leon. They're on the disc now. De Leon back to Umali, spreading the play. Accurate disc, and it needed to be, because the Colombian defence were right there. But Philippines advancing. They're going to spend a big disc into the end zone, but there's only Colombia underneath that one. Ramirez slips as he grabs, brings it down. Poor choice of the end zone shot. Trying to continue that flow a little quickly. Ramirez for Colombia. Keeping the disc moving now, but they're deep in their own half. They're not looking at very many options forward. Ramirez now finding space. Forward. 15 shirt of Agudelo. And a hand in the way of that. That was definitely got some D on it from the Philippines, but it's going to be hanging in the air, and it's perfectly read by the Colombian. And now there's space, and Castaneda picks it off, the easiest going for the Colombians, having two players from the Philippines misread that shot down pitch.
Yeah, now seems to be a battle of Ramirez and De Leon. Two of them getting some Ds in that point, and I think Ramirez wins this round.
I think they got away with it, Liam, more than winning. I think the Colombians getting lucky a little bit of... they did get D on that first shot, but they've tied it up. This game is an absolute cracker. I hope you're enjoying it wherever you're watching. We've got 7 apiece here between Philippines and Colombia in the mixed division. You're watching Sky Magazine's coverage of the WFDF World Under-23 Ultimate Championships from the University College London Sports Ground in St Albans. You're listening to Tom Stiles and Liam Grant, and we hope wherever you're watching you're enjoying the coverage. Liam, it's been a real cracker of it's like a game of chess, this game of Ultimate. Both teams just trying to get their strategy right, trying to adjust, but the key thing is the mistakes that just keep coming from both teams.
Yeah, the mental game has maybe been a little poor on both sides. You see them getting angry if they make a drop as well. So we'll see how the coaches get involved to steady their ships and see who can sail into this win. I know halftime will be coming shortly, I'd say, and we'll be having an interview with one of the German women's players. I was filming the German-New Zealand game taking place after this. So that should be another exciting one as well, Tom.
Got absolutely stacks and stacks of action to bring you this week from London. Do hope you can watch as much of it as you can. But, in this Philippines game at the moment, Kimio sends the disc deep from the Philippines. It's going to be caught, and it is caught beautifully by Vibar. It reads that disc nicely. We've seen the first smooth, clean, deep shot offense from Philippines in a while. And if they can start to tidy up their offense and do that more often, Colombians might really be struggling. They take the lead once more. It's 8-7.
Yeah, I really like the style of throwing of the Philippines. Compared to maybe some US and European teams, they keep that this low. Even the Hucks, they look for that open lane and rarely going above 7 or 8 feet in the air, and it just zips through the receiver. They're probably used to coming up against teams taller than them, and they don't want this to hang in the air. So they just throw accurate Hucks. They're low and zippy, and great play there by the Philippines.
And the timeout's being called, presumably by the Colombians. Didn't actually see the call being made down on the pitch. A nice atmosphere around the tournament this morning. Players spread out across the 3 fields on the opposite side behind our camera tent, which we're on the far side of the pitch from the camera, and we're looking down towards the camera tent and then there's 3 pitches laid out behind it, perfectly lined up with their tents and their wide spacings between the pitches. And behind us, another 3 or 4 pitches, another 4 pitches behind us, behind the stands. And that's where the catering field is as well. Sponsors VC are there, and Discraft are sponsoring this tournament as well. Are you enjoying your week so far, Liam?
Yeah, I'm having a great time. I've been sneaking some Ireland Open games as well when I'm not commentating, and I can see them in the distance actually taking on the Philippines Open right now, which I'm sure is a cracker of a game. Ireland Open still undefeated so far, and may end up taking 3rd seed, a big game against Austria at the top of the group later on today, presuming they can get a win against the Philippines here. I think Philippines yet to pick up a win in the Open division. They got a really tough pool though, so I'm sure they're going to pick up a few W's as the tournament progresses.
A bit of an exciting, very evenly matched pool, that, with Australia, Ireland and Austria all in there. Did you see the result of the Austria-Australia match last night? Because we were watching the start of it, but I didn't stay till the end.
Yeah, Austria pulled away at the end of that game. So Australia in a bit of a tricky position. I still expect them to take the 3rd position in that pool. They'll be going up against Belgium, who also had a tight game against Ireland. So it'll be an interesting one. But yeah, the 3 teams from that pool will then cross over with the 3 teams from Pool A, likely to be USA, Great Britain and Colombia. A really, really tight game yesterday where Colombia faced off against Denmark. I know it went to Universe Point, and then there was an unfortunate injury which delayed the Universe Point for maybe 15-20 minutes, and then Colombia just able to pull away. So Denmark in a tough position as well. We saw them play yesterday and they were fantastic and maybe deserved to be moving into the next round of this competition, but they found themselves in a hard group with USA, Great Britain and Colombia. Deemed the pool of death from earlier. We see the game advisors on the field now having a little chat about how things are going. I think things are going great for Spirit. These 2 countries obviously come from different cultures and continents and speak different language, but no problem communicating with hand signals and getting calls sorted out. We see the Colombians having a bit of a dance-off there in their circle, trying to keep spirits high. Julio, the coach, giving words of wisdom. This would be a big point now if Philippines can break and take half. That would be huge.
I think this actually is the half. I think we're on a 55-minute half rather than the... yes, I'm getting a thumbs up from Anthony. So we've got a couple of sponsors, VC and Discraft, and we're going to get a chat with the German women's representative, but we've also got a bit of a mention for one of our awareness-raising causes, which is Eric, and there's a little bit of a commercial for that, which we'll play right now.
Eric is a nonprofit that teaches kids body awareness through Ultimate Frisbee.
We're going to teach your kids about sportsmanship, spirit of the game, conflict resolution. They're going to have a great time, an amazing message about cancer, that it's not something that's not a death sentence. It's not something you need to be scared of. It's something that you need to have a winning attitude towards, like an opponent on a field.
Go Team Eric!
Hi, this is Liam Grant here, back again. So I'm here with Svenja Spanuth of the Germans women's team, having a very successful tournament so far, and we'll be streaming them after this game, playing against New Zealand. Svenja, how has the tournament gone so far for you?
Well, it was really intense. First, we had yesterday the games. There were 2 universe points. So it was quite tough fights, especially during this British weather. But so far it went quite well, and we're quite positive with our how it went so far.
So who were the 2 teams you beat, and tell us a little more about those battles?
First was against Colombia, and we actually didn't beat them, we lost. Yeah. So it was quite, in the beginning we were really eager to beat them, and really was our spirit were high, and was a tough battle. And then we went up by 2 points for halftime. It was 9-7, and then they came back, and we eventually ended up playing Universe, and they scored. And of course, we're kind of low spirits, and well, no, not low spirits, but we were really sad. But then we recovered during our lunch break and came back strong against GB. And yeah, there we really, it was Universe again, but since we won, it was good.
Yeah, some happy Germans after that one. How was your experience being here at the fields and at the tournament accommodation? Good all around, or what's your feelings on that?
Well, first of all, the fields are amazing, like the grass. I probably have never played on that nice fields before. And the organization is all really, you always know where to go, and it's really, really well organized. So thanks to the organizers, probably, at this point.
Thumbs up from the Germans for organization. That's a big win there. Fair play to the English lads. Anyone you're looking forward to playing in this competition?
Well, we figured out yesterday that there's really, the level of all women teams is really similar. So I wouldn't say there's one team in particular I'm really looking forward to play with, but just about to go into every game and be really excited. And it's basically, it's always a trading of points, and I think there's nobody you're really gonna beat like really high, or you're gonna lose really low. So it's always a tough fight, and I'm really looking forward to that one.
What do you know about this New Zealand team? Have you been scouting them, or what have you heard?
Well, about the New Zealand team, what we've heard is we've played them in that. Oh no, we've heard that they're quite athletic and quite. Well, it's going to be an intense game. They have some tall players on the team, and they're probably going to throw some hugs. So yeah, we are looking forward to really athletic and game. Yeah, with probably a little bit of body contact, but always on the spirited side.
Great. Thanks very much for the interview. We're going to go back to the Colombia-Philippines mixed game, and best of luck in your match, and I'm expecting some big play, so good luck. Thanks very much. Spanut there from the Germans women's teams, giving some information on an upcoming stream after this. Yeah, really tight women's division so far. It's great that all the teams are in one big pool, so they all get to play each other, and then it goes straight to semis. So expect to see a few three-way ties with a lot of universe point games. It could go to anyone.
Interesting to hear from our German ladies there. And I know the Great Britain ladies were pretty upset after having lost that universe point game to the Germans, but that big pool is always going to turn out some close games, and the nice thing is that you do get to play against absolutely everybody, and you might get a chance to play against them all over again later on in the tournament as well. So nobody is quite out of it just yet. And the Germans have a rich history at European level, but Great Britain as well. We saw a fantastic game yesterday, USA versus Japan in the women's division, which was a real classic.
Yeah, I was a bit jealous of you, Tom, getting to commentate that game. It looked like a real cracker, but I'm sure there's going to be plenty more of those in the women's division. I really enjoyed how Japan played yesterday. It was really a spectacle to watch. Completely different style to the Americans, and I think they had the Americans bamboozled at one stage of the game. Maybe some taller athletic players just couldn't stay in touch with their Japanese counterparts, getting a little frustrated, but beautiful to watch. I know maybe there's a few European teams not present in the women's division, maybe some of them competing in Copenhagen next week. I know there's not an Irish women's team here, which is a bit unfortunate, but there's a few women on the mixed team, so it's glad to see them here. This game about to kick off again. Colombia signaling with their holding hands up in the air. Fantastic to see.
And we're seeing a whole array of photographs of people watching the Sky coverage on Twitter. So if you are watching, John, Robert, Raphael, watching in the Philippines with a group of people around a laptop, very good to see you all. Sabogal for the Colombians. Middle of the pitch. Finds the full shirt of Castaneda. Ramirez. Nice floaty disc into space for Sabogal to collect. He looks downfield, doesn't see any options. Back to Ramirez. Ramirez has got Rodriguez cutting, but he said he goes inside to 15 of Agudelo. Agudelo. Backhand outstretched grab from Sabogal. Really had to reach that one. That was almost a turnover. Rodriguez, the first lady to get involved in this for the Colombians. They're very much male-dominated handling line. Castaneda, huge play. Hammer into the end zone. It's going to be brought down. It's touched on. Oh, just the touch from the 15 shirt of Agudelo. And is claiming a D from the Philippines was illegitimate. I wasn't sure how much contact there was from the Philippines player there. The hammer floated into space. We'll see how the game advisor is going to get involved. Dominic just stepping in and asking the players to talk to each other. Nope, fair turnover. Uncontested.
Yeah, it appeared that the Colombian had kind of dropped the disc before any contact had occurred. So I think good call there. Again, the game advisor getting involved and settling that pretty quickly.
Just that impartial voice from the sideline. They don't make active calls. They just go to, and they occasionally ask the players to confer, just to make sure that the conversations are taking place properly. So far, positive feedback from the players and positive feedback from the spectators, who like the fact the game is able to keep moving. It's a nice compromise between no observers and observers. De Leon moving nicely for the Philippines now. Aggressive, fast cuts. Jessica De Leon again with the disc. Using both genders here, the Philippines, very effective. Oh, and a terrible shot and a foul on the foe. That was why the disc went to ground so quickly. The 8 shirt of Martinez, Bia Martinez there. Uncontested. Coming in on 0. Shouts from Jessica coming in, but uncontested foul again. And brilliant work from the Colombian number 7 shirt. It's not number 7, 17 shirt of Martinez, who read the fact that that cut was going out and a pick was called.
Actually, there's a violation, I think, called. Oh no, the game advisor is signaling pick there. I wonder, did it affect play? I think they're going to chat it out now. It seemed like the pick wasn't really involved in the play, but maybe a lot of players had stopped playing before that pass had occurred. We'll see what the resolution is now.
The 17 shirt for Colombia, Martinez, staying in the lane and getting that block, but Colombia again with the disc. Ramirez, Agudelo, Sabogal. Colombians relying on these 4 guys every single time they've got the disc. They seem to be going through the same 4. Castaneda, Ramirez, looking down the line. Sabogal a little bit too close to the Philippines. They get a go early and they get a block. Miguel Ramos for the Philippines getting that block. It was a poor disc from Colombia and great pressure from the Philippines, leading to that turnover. Lots of shouting. It's going to be a deep shot, but it's not a great disc from Ramos, and a foul has come back uncontested. Yeah, no worries. They're having a little hug on the sideline. That's nice to see, isn't it, at this level?
Yeah, lovely to see that respect for each other. Ramos there giving him a nice big hug.
Disc is coming back in. Ramos with a second opportunity to advance. No cuts coming into the lane yet. It flicks nice. Oh, what a disc across the pitch. Really opened up the whole play. Now it's gone deep and there's going to be a Philippines player underneath it. He's got time and space to collect it. What a glorious piece of play from the Philippines. The inside-out break shot right across the pitch and the deep shot into so much space. Philippines bringing that down with the 16 shirt of Cruz. De La Cruz just bringing it down beautifully in the end zone. And the Philippines have got a 2-point lead here. 9-7 is the score. 9-7 is the score.
Ramos there with a beautiful feathery flick. Some tight throws from there from the Philippines. They seem to love that inside-out break. They get down real low and just throwing some daisy cutters there. I'm glad the grass is short here because there's some low, beautiful throws.
We've got to talk a little bit about the way the Colombians are playing offense at the moment. They're relying on these, the 4 guys. Who is it? We've got Agudelo, Ramirez, Sabogal, and Castaneda. Those 4 involved in a lot of their offensive points, and really the ladies from the Colombian mixed team not involved at all. Now, you can't play Ultimate with just 4 players, and yet the Colombians seem to be using that as their tactic at the moment.
Yeah, only really Ana Maria Rodriguez being a force for the women, for the Colombians. And yeah, if you're looking after women, you're going to miss out some good opportunities to score and have some tired legs as well. I don't know if these boys can run the show on their own.
Yeah, we see them start again. There's Sabogal making that first pass off to the 21 shirt of Chica. Castaneda. Oh, wound up a couple of big shots, and he's definitely got them in the can. Is he going to break them out now? Chica. Rodriguez. And Rodriguez not able to bring that disc down. It's D from the Philippines, a laser disc shot. Oh, that disc from Umali, too hot, too fast, too low for the receiver. It was a good cut. And the discs are there from both teams, but the mistakes keep coming. If the Philippines can take these errors out of their game, they're going to be in dominant form, because the pressure they're putting the Philippines on, and maybe this is what we're seeing from Colombians, is every time that they do try and pass to one of their ladies, the Philippines female defenders are all over it and creating a lot of pressure. Almost a Callahan there. Oh, and Sabogal's gone down heavily. Slipped as he tried to adjust. He's gripping his hip. He's clearly in a lot of pain, and he's gone down there. The disc to him was behind him. Umale was right on his tail, almost got the Callahan for the Philippines. But as he slipped and went down, he's gone down heavily. And he's in a lot of pain there, Liam.
Yeah, this one isn't looking good. I really hope that he gets back up, but I have a feeling he could be out for the rest of this game. Clutching his knee there. I just got word in that I'm afraid any of you Philippines fans out there probably won't enjoy this, that the Open team just had some bagels for breakfast against the Ireland Open team. 17-0 on that one, ending the game early. Ireland's starting to show their dominance in the Open division. Maybe an outside contender there.
You can hear how distraught Liam is about that result. 17-0. Wow, the Irish Open team are strong this year. So Sabogal is back on his feet. He slipped. I'm not sure if there was a foul. I don't think Umale got too close to him as he came in to try and get that Callahan. And a substitution. Yeah, I think he's been told if you've gone to ground for a stoppage, you do need to take a sub. And Ramirez is on the pitch again with the ponytail hairdo for Colombia. We've seen Chica join this group of 4 guys. Castaneda and Ramirez. Ramirez with the disc now. Down the line, it's going to be pulled out of the sky by the Philippines. Big play from the Philippines, getting up there early, reading it. Nguyen down the line for the Philippines now. They're looking confident every time they've got the disc. Swings it back. Umale down the line, but it's going to be a shot into the end zone. It's going to float. It's going to be flying deep. He's going to be right at the back corner. Just keeps a toe in. And it's a goal for the Philippines, surely. Little conversation from the Colombians. Yes, high five from the Colombians conceding that goal. Hands in the air from the game advisors. They've taken a big lead now. 3 points, they've got the margin here. It's 10-7 to the Philippines in this mixed division game.
A buttery biscuit there from Umali. Not much room to play around with it, but it just gets it in that back corner of the end zone. Lovely stuff there.
It's hard to play against a disc which is that spot on. He did very well to keep his feet, have that awareness of where the cone was, and still keep the hand on the disc. So often you see players going deep, they know they're approaching the line, they glance at the line, glance back up at the disc, and they get nowhere near that catch. So it's a hard skill to have. But The Philippines now very much in the ascendancy. Colombians have got some work to do to get back into this one, because they're making mistakes. They're relying on their male players too much. The female players not been involved in handling, apart from Rodriguez. And the last couple of discs we've seen to Rodriguez have been deed. So the Philippines have clearly identified her as a threat. And if they can eliminate that threat, then they don't have very much else to throw to on the Colombian side.
Just looking at the YouTube live chat there, see a lot of people back in Colombia watching, and the Philippines. So keep the comments coming. We'll try and read out a few. A few Filipino players there disappointed to see that the Open team had some bagels for breakfast.
Well, you can understand that, but your mixed team is doing you proud at the moment, Philippines. I wouldn't worry too much. It's going to be a strong week here in London. You're listening to Sky Magazine's, or you're watching Sky Magazine's coverage of the WFDF World Under-23 Ultimate Championships from here in the University College London Sports Ground in St Albans, just on the edge of London. I've got some beautiful fields prepared, ready for this tournament, and there'll be the same fields and the same tournament committee used for next year's World Ultimate and Guts Championships. I'm Tom Stiles. I'm joined by Liam Grant, and we're very much enjoying an absolute treat of a game this morning.
A few people online there getting some laws for my pronunciation of the name Anyo Umali. I've almost just changed his name to O'Malley, I think, at this stage. I think maybe Umali, or there's a variation in that pronunciation, but I'm trying my best up here.
Umali. We'll go for Umali. If you are on Twitter and you want to get in touch with us, the hashtag is #UC23. Sorry, hang on, I'll start again. The hashtag is WU23UC. That's World Under-23 Ultimate Championships. WU23UC. It just rolls off the tongue. I'll get the hang of that by the end of this week. Anne Deason is watching. Well, hello, Anne. Back to the game. And it's good to see Sabagal back on the pitch and running freely again. But it's the 8 shirt of Truque making the play. Sabagal once more with the earring and the hat. And all the throws. Rodriguez is available on the far side and finds her nicely. She's obviously got some throws. Back to Sabagal. Nice. Round the throw, opening up the pitch. Rodriguez is in acres of space, but he's looked him off twice. And the disc is centered again. This time Rodriguez is available and does find it. Again, the boys doing the majority of the work here for Colombia Mix. Rodriguez this time making himself available. No mistake from her. The disc goes to ground. And the 2 female deep players for Colombia not getting a single sniff, not making a cut really. And the Philippines break out of the half. This is Kimio. Oh, it's not Kimio in the 11. Yes, it's Kimio in the 11 shirt with the disc and the glasses and the knee pads. He's looking for options. He's going to run out of options pretty quickly. The disc is low. It's across the pitch. You see a good cut from the number 3 shirt of Bautista. But the disc goes too far ahead of her and goes to ground. And the Colombians have got it back. And Sabagal comes to collect again.
Yeah, we see the Philippine Open team coming to the sideline now to cheer on their mixed team as well, and hopefully give them a bit of an edge with some sideline help to try and take this game home.
Disc into the end zone. Colombia bring it down. It's a score. They take it 1 point back. 8-10 is the score. It was a nice shot over the top, raking sliding disc into the back of the end zone. You see, using the women, scoring points. Colombia, they just need to learn this lesson, Liam, and they'll be good at mixed ultimate.
Yeah, loving the songs on the field now, the Colombians. Those of you that have gone to World Championships before, you probably know them all already. The whoa, 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 Colombia. It's one of my favorites. Bit of a long one there. I don't know if I should be singing any more than I should. Any renditions for ourselves, Tom?
No, as long as it's not Aussie, 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 I can handle pretty much any song on the sideline is good. The Aussie, Aussie, Aussie one, I think, annoys even the Australians now. Anyway, we've got an absolutely fantastic tournament going on here in London. Lots of atmosphere. The rain that we were predicted today hasn't arrived. There's been a little bit of very light drizzle, but it's gone away now, and we're basking in a sort of 15, 16, 17 degrees. It's fairly still. There's a light breeze, but nothing much to write home about. Certainly not affecting the play out here. And the Philippines got the disc. Looking at a deep shot. There's a deep shot available. He's not taking it. He's still available. Oh, he's canned it once more. But still with possession, and the crowd in the stands getting excited. Jessica cutting, but it's the 8 shirt of Martinez, B. Martinez. Disc is high for Titular to catch, but he catches nevertheless. Using Jessica again. Back to Titular. Titular's got options right across the pitch. What a disc. He's opened up the whole pitch. He's got so much space to catch. Titular with the inside out, floaty cross-field sidearm. Absolutely stunning disc, opening up the whole pitch. Colombia's the whole team wrong-footed. There was 2 Filipino players, both with the opportunity to go and fetch that. And they take out the lead to 11-8. Really, really strong and impressive play from the Filipino team.
Ravishing inside flick there again. It's their go-to throw. If they're shut down on field, they're like, no problem, I'm going to hit that other side. Doing it all day. And the Colombians maybe need to take that away. Haven't seen too many big round backhands coming from the Philippines. They seem to favor that low inside flick.
Yeah, the flick is working well for them, and they're a very elegant team to watch play at the moment. The Colombians struggling to find the form which they were so dominant with in the early part of this game. They led this game to 6, and then the Philippines have reined them back in, and now they're taking a much stronger position in the second half of the game. They've very much got the momentum with them. 11-8's the score, and the joined hands of the Colombians raise again to signal they're ready to receive the pull. The Philippines sends that one down hard. Delavin with the pull, and it's caught by... And a defense straight away from the Philippines. Umali progressing for the Philippines. Look, straight again across the pitch. He's going to be floating. It's going to be caught high by the number 9 shirt of Chua. And the Philippines go end-to-end scores, turn and burn, and they are dominating this one now. 12-8 is the score.
Yeah, the Filipino Open team here in this island just turned this into a pantomime. They're going absolutely wild anytime any big play comes from the Philippine mixed team. Great to see such camaraderie between the 2 teams they've sent here to this tournament. And I think it's really helping. You can see the tails are up now for the Philippines. They may be able to take this one home.
It's quite a disconcerting thing when suddenly you find yourself losing a game and all of a sudden the team that are winning get an extra fan club on the sideline. Very vocal from the Philippines. Clearly knocked down after their own defeat to your Irish boys, Liam, and they're here to support their country, and they're here to support the Philippines. 12-8 they lead. You're listening to Skyde's coverage of the WFTF World Under-23 Ultimate Championships down here in London. We're at the University College London Sports Ground. Beautiful, well-watered and flat fields in St Albans on the edge of London. And a disc from the Philippines hangs high and deep. It's going to get some pressure under it, but a little bit of jogging down there from the Philippines. Camillo on the mark. The Sabogal makes progress. Big disc going up. It's going to go deep, and it's the female player Martinez with her face in her hand. She had that disc coming down straight to her, but the 12 shirt of Suarez makes a bid, had the opportunity to score the point, knocks it out, and he's apologizing to the rest of the team there. He knows he's made a mistake there, but Martinez right underneath that disc as well. It wasn't a bad disc by any means, but Suarez with the error on receiving it, and you don't get opportunities like that, and when your team is 8-12 down, you need to take every chance you can. Just got to keep their heads up now. Philippines have lined themselves up vertically down the pitch, fairly deep. They're just being asked to come a little bit shorter now. Camillo breaks around again, but this time a little bit too close to the 12 shirt of Suarez. Suarez making up for his earlier mistake, and is he going to try and put this one in? Taking his time. Jabs it, lays out from the Philippines, but it's not enough. Ramirez brings that one down. He congratulates the Philippines player for an excellent bid, but it's not enough to stop the Colombians scoring that one. And Suarez very much making up for his earlier mistake.
Yeah, Suarez read that play very well. We saw the Philippines setting up their stack quite far, and I think they're doing that to keep that inside break lane open. They've been having much joy with the inside flick, and I think Suarez kind of saw that play coming. We saw the handler go up line. They're looking for that front of the stack for that big inside break, and Suarez did that one really well and was able to punch it in to Ramirez for the score. Good adjustments there by the Colombians, reading the play and adjusting to the team they're playing.
Yeah, the Philippines have been deadly with this break force flick, as Liam was pointing out there. I suppose if you know that that's the strength of your handlers, you set your whole play around it and build on that, knowing that that's the break shot you're going to use. And it's so much of an effective break shot rather than going around the back, because you gain so many more yards.
Yeah, it's a killer for a defense. If that throw comes off, you're on the back foot for another 2 or 3 throws. It's really easy to get that continuation break and just sets up your whole offensive flow. So if you're picking up static on the sideline, if you get that throw off, that's huge. That's better than getting a short undergain of getting that cross-field break.
12-9 is a score. Colombians not out of this one by any stretch. Pressure from that first pass. Fast-running Almanza gets down there and puts pressure, low hands. And the Philippines trying to move the disc now. The disc is too far behind Jessica De Leon. She goes to the ground. A mistake from the Philippines have given the Colombians back the disc once more. Castaneda, arrow-like disc straight down to Almanza. Almanza looks back to Rivera. Castaneda again. Disc is like another very, very fast disc, but Herrada just can't hold his cool. He caught the disc, he looked up, he saw somebody cutting and put a disc way out of the back of the end zone. Not the shot that was needed then. The Colombians very much need to hold their nerve at this point in the game.
Trying to mirror an inside flick there by the Colombians, but they ain't the Filipinos. I don't know if they have that one quite down. Need to practice that one, I think.
A mistake on the throw. It was a little bit of a block there from Rivera. Managed to get a touch on that. He was pumping the air a little bit. And the disc has been knocked forward, so it's been brought back. And Castaneda picks it up. He's just ahead of the brick mark. Sends it into the end zone, but it's going to be high and deep. And Castaneda, uncharacteristically, that's a terrible disc from him. Really, no one was going to get anywhere near that. Properly stepped into it with his hip and gave it a proper hammer.
Yeah, that throw almost soared into the VC tent there, I think. The game advisor having to do quite the jog to go get it for him.
Yeah, it was... Castaneda, for me, has been the Colombia's strongest player. He seems to be fast and athletic and very, very difficult to mark. And he's made solid throws so far. But that was a mistake from him. And we see Almanza marking, hands low, the 10 shirts of titular for the Philippines. That break right across the pitch. This time brought down, second time around. And now the Philippines are advancing. Martinez. De La Cruz looking for options. He's got one up the line. He sends a deep shot. That's not a good disc, but Camino brings it down. And I think he's caught his hand a little bit. He's coming in on 0. Camillo reading that disc, taking it out in front of Castaneda. Need to go back to where you were. Camillo grabbed the disc, but Castaneda and him were both bidding for it very hard. Finished on top of each other. It's come back in now. Camillo. So it's Weber with the disc. My apologies. And a huge take out of the sky. right at the top of the jump. The Philippines have taken the disc down in the end zone. It's 13-9. They've got a 4-point lead here, and they're within touching distance of taking this game away from Colombia.
That was a buttery backhand if I ever saw one from V-Bar. Made a great play there to get in front of his Colombian defender, and then just sends one up in the air, trusting his teammates to be able to take that one down.
Yeah, V-Bar and Camillo both wearing glasses on the pitch, and so we got them mixed up there. Apologies to the two of you there. But the Philippines, again, breaking the pitch apart with that inside-out sidearm early on in that point, and really seem to be playing as a unit. They don't using all of their players on the pitch at all times, working very well. They've got this game under control at the moment. They're 13-9 up in this mixed pool game. Colombia with the disc. Nice disc out to Suarez. Suarez to Truk. Forward to Rodriguez, who stops in her tracks and almost gets some D all over that disc, but it's a nice disc over the top. Colombia looking flowing and smooth. Maria Avila with the score for Colombia, and that was, what, 5 passes from Colombia straight up the pitch. No real defense from Philippines. Rodriguez almost got somebody climbing all over after she stopped to fetch that disc in, but solid stuff from Colombia. They can score and they can look so fluid when it all hooks together. That's just not been the story of their game.
No. A tasty highly backhand there from Rodriguez, and she was dancing around the field after that one, excited to try to get her team pumped up, and they need to be, because this game could be slipping away from them. Time is starting to run out.
Their defense has seemed unable to contain the Philippines' expansive play so far. Their ability to break the force has really caused the Colombians an awful lot of problems. And that seems to be the story of the game so far. Both teams, I think, are fairly matched up evenly athletically. But the Philippines' ability to just break the force and open up the play has caused an awful lot of issues for Colombia's defense. And both teams have made mistakes. Both teams have made mistakes, haven't they?
They have, but the Philippines just seem comfortable playing against any kind of defense. And while the Colombians just misconnecting sometimes, and I feel that's just a mental game right now.
Philippines advancing far side of the pitch. Batista. A hard bid from Yao, but it doesn't come off. Disc goes to ground. Mistake from Batista with that pass to center the disc in the middle of the pitch. It's given Castaneda an opportunity to get Colombia one step closer to closing this gap to the Philippines. Castaneda looking break and finds a nice shot to Suarez. Oh, it's not Suarez, sorry, Ramos. Back to Castaneda. Pressure from the Philippines. He was all over that from a mile away. Ramos chasing the disc down, getting his hands double outstretched. No chance for the Colombian completion there. And the Philippines with a lot of space. Batista sending the disc deep. It's going to be flying in the air. It's been flying in the air for a long time. There's pressure underneath this disc. Castaneda over the top, putting pressure on there. He was up early and it provided a lot of pressure. I'm not sure if it was his hand that eventually got the disc, but it was not completed. A little bit hanging in the air too long for to be a safe shot to the end zone, really.
Yeah, that deep option was off about 2 or 3 seconds after he threw it. Poor choice there by the Philippines.
And the defense shout from the crowd comes up as Colombia are advancing. Agudelo. And another defense from the middle of the pitch from Batista. Trying to start quickly. Ramos with the disc. And hands up in the air. Game advisor signaling. Trying to work out what the call was.
Yeah, Mika there, I think the tallest woman on the field. Great poach in lane to stop that hook. Looked like it was going to be a Colombian score, but she got big and got a D there.
So Philippines with the disc. I don't know how our time is creeping by quite quickly here. We might be nearing the cap. It's coming up to 100 minutes on the clock. Disc goes up for the Philippines. It's going to be brought down. No, it's not going to be brought down. It's the wind's just pushing that away down towards us. It just picked up and swirled a little bit. The disc was flying through it and has got pushed to the ground. Castaneda to Higura. Disc goes deep. It's going to be flying. Pressure from Batista causing the drop from the Colombian receivers there. The two Colombian receivers communicating with each other about who's going to catch it. But Batista had other ideas. She gets in the way, and a timeout's called by Philippines. Probably a very wise and timely timeout. Another couple of minutes, and they're going to be in the cap. 13-10's the score. Liam, we are watching an absolute cracker of a game. This could go either way, but certainly Philippines in the ascendancy right now.
Yeah, the crowd going absolutely wild for Mika there. Got the poaching lane and put good pressure on that deep shot, and let's see if they'll use her now when she's better with confidence up on this Filipino offense.
Who's been the highlight for you for the Philippines there, Liam? Who's played the best game from your point of view?
Yeah, Tom, it has to be Jacob De Leon. He may not be that present the whole time. He seems to be playing D-line mostly for the Philippines, but putting a lot of pressure on those Colombian male players. And he may not have a huge amount of stats on defense, but he's shutting people down, and I'm really impressed by him.
Thank you, Liam. You're listening to Tom Stiles and Liam Grant for Sky Magazine's coverage of the World Under-23 Ultimate Championships from London. And wherever you are in the world, do drop us a tweet. Kina Ventosa is watching. Hello, Kina. She was watching half an hour ago or so. Very much appreciate your tweets. Joakim Jova's watching. Ann Dizon still watching. And clearly a fan of how well the Philippines team are doing. It's probably mid-afternoon in the Philippines, and probably a very, very early morning for Colombia. If you're watching in Colombia, good morning to you. If you're watching the Philippines, good afternoon to you. The action from here in London being brought to you. Worldwide coverage of Sky Magazine and the Ultimate Family United, watching a fantastic game in the mixed division.
Yeah, we have the Colombian women here setting a bit of a trend with more of a kind of a running short style. We see in Ultimate a lot of time wearing the baggy style, almost basketball shorts, but the Colombian women setting a trend here. And, you know, London's a fashionable city, and that's what we like to see.
Bringing new influences. So that, yeah, the guys and the girls wearing very different styles of shorts on the Colombian team. We've covered hair, now we're covering fashion, but the game has started again, and the Philippines are in the middle of the back of the end zone there, trying to make progress, and they do quickly. Great disc forward for the Philippines. 7 shirt. Now number 24 for the Philippines. Jabs that disc forward. Beautiful work to Batista, and it's flown up, and it's going to be high, and it's going to be hanging in the air. Can she read it? Not quite. Just caught in the air. Medrano not quite reading that disc correctly. It goes to ground. And now Ramos, oh sorry, it's not Ramos, it's Higura for Colombia. Sabogal. And now we see the familiar face of Castaneda. The disc from Castaneda's poor one. It goes down the line, lands on the ground.
Colombia had a few opportunities there to send it long to their female players, just looking it off, and I felt there was good options there that they should have taken.
I think that's the story of their game so far. That's doing the difference between these two teams. But, oh, great bid between the two players there. Castaneda going up, and they slap hands nicely. Paulo Batista up in the air. And Castaneda signaling to the far corner of the pitch. That's where he wants it. Gets sent perfectly. Is he going to keep his toes? And he does. What a disc. And we have a goal given. The disc from Higura was fantastic. The hand signaling from Castaneda was obvious. He knew exactly where he wanted the disc. He set off early. The disc arrived perfectly. What a shot from the Colombians. They bring it back 11-13.
Yeah, great fling to the far sideline. Really using the whole field. Really difficult throw to defend if you're shutting down the open side. It's a lofty one to the far one. You got no opportunity there at all.
So we've the Colombian seems to have found a little bit of confidence, a little bit of flow. They've brought this game back. The Philippines are not going to have it all their own way. They've made a couple of mistakes and they've been put under a lot of pressure these last couple of points. This mixed division is going to throw up a variety of interesting matchups. So 100 minutes has gone by my clock, so I'm assuming that if that point has been scored, this must be a game to 14. But I will wait for our commentary guys to just to confirm exactly what the situation is. And the disc is on the floor for the Philippines, near the brick mark. Quick pair of passes. Titular's had a strong game for me. Nice high grab from Weber, but it's the disc from Weber is poor. It's floating in the air too long. And a strong, confident take from Rodriguez under increasing and mounting pressure from Junie de la Cruz. She does not flinch. She grabs the disc. The 8 shirt of Truque and Suarez and Rodriguez. The disc from Rodriguez is a poor choice. Straight into the hands of De La Cruz. The Philippines have got it back once more. And Castaneda coming to mark. Santos with the disc. Immediately, that dump pass was so open and easy to take on. Now he's trying to keep him marked. So that's why he was leaving it open and easy to take on, because the down the line shot is so quick for him. But a mistake there. And Colombians have got the disc again. Nice wide open flick to Rodriguez. Rodriguez has got nothing to look at all. Still clearing the lanes. And pressure from the Philippines almost results in a turnover. Castaneda doubling back to make his pass, but no complaint there from the 42 shirt of Weber. No, Weber's absolutely fine. So carry on, carry on. I think Castaneda apologising.
How's it looking?
But no need to. Rodriguez cutting back now.
Oh, okay.
And a foul. Coming in on 0. Castaneda with the disc for Colombia. Rodriguez hand in the air, but down the line comes number 8 for Colombia. Keeps his toes in nicely. Suarez over the top, bashing into the Philippines a little bit. Philippines player happy to let that one go. Castaneda again making all the play for Colombia here, looking for a quick shot in. What? I cannot understand the decision. It wasn't a decision, it was a foul. As his hand has gone out, he's claiming his hand was still. Castaneda, it disagrees. The disc to ground was, I'm not quite sure who the intended target was, even if the disc has been perfect, Liam.
Yeah, he's going for that big buttery biscuit over the stack to the far corner. Usually people do the hammer. It's quite a difficult throw. We see the game advisors getting involved now, as it didn't look like the two players are agreeing anything there. Difficult one to call. I know that defensive player was nice and tight. And it seems to be uncontested now.
So yeah, uncontested. 2 signals that the game advisors might give in that situation. Uncontested with hands out to the side, and the Colombians with Castaneda again. Looking to the shot down the line. It finds Suarez in space, and the Colombians, through their tenacity and their energy, have brought this game back. It's 12-13. We're just awaiting confirmation from our Sky team that there is a cap of 14 on this game. If Anthony or Mike could confirm that, that'd be fantastic. We're a little bit isolated on the far side of the pitch. We can only assume that that is the result of those 2 Colombian points. 13-12. Philippines with a 1-point lead in this. That is correct. Apparently we're getting thumbs up from Anthony. This is a game to 14. The Irish Open team are in the stands, and they're creating their usual brand of carnage and mayhem. They've come across to watch the Philippines team as well. Having bageled the Open squad this morning, the Irish boys in good voice.
Yeah, they're a little angry at me that we're not streaming them and we're streaming the mixed team. But me and Mike Palmer, our Aussie compatriot working there, doing the video production, we went to watch their Ireland-Australia game. We even tried to wiggle it onto this field, but we couldn't do it. And it was a great game where Ireland took it 11-9. And yeah, a great bunch of lads, and they're here to watch this game on the show field. A really exciting game. I can see why they came over. Two really appreciated teams in the ultimate community. I know at World Beach in 2011, Philippines were the hotshot. Everyone wanted to go see the Philippines. We'd heard about how they play in beach, and not a lot was known about them except that they're a really cool team to watch. I know in Dublin, and then in 2012 when I was there, it was all about Colombia. Everyone wanted to see them. I think they won Spirit in one division and came first and second, competing as well. So it was all about them. So these teams have a lot of history of passion and great performances, and I can see why everyone's coming out to watch them.
And the support from around the world is impressive. We've got a lot of people watching on the stream yesterday. I think our coverage of the USA-Japan women's game had nearly 2,000 people watching it at one point, which is, you know, a complete sea change from some of the stats we used to get on media coverage that we've done in the past. From all over the world, people watching. Please, if you are watching, do spread the word. Put the message out on your channels, your teams. Let them know where to find the links. Sometimes people miss where the stream is happening. If you've got it, just share it on your social media. Even to your people, even to your friends who aren't Frisbee players, let them know that there's something exciting to watch. Get them introduced to the sport. You're watching Sky Magazine's coverage of the World Under-23. We're looking at the mixed division, the World Under-23 Ultimate Championships. And Colombia got the disc in the air once more. Philippines bringing this down. Titular, so often the receiving player at the start of this line. And the defensive line from Colombia is chasing hard. Now Jessica De Leon sending it back. Bautista, Titular. And there's been a foul called, probably a pick called. We see the arms go out at an angle, either side of the players, either side of the game advisors. Game's come to a halt. This game couldn't be more tense. An absolute cracker we're watching here in the mixed division. Colombia versus the Philippines. The Philippines with a 1-point lead. They had a 4-point lead, but the Colombians have clawed it back. Jessica De Leon, far side of the pitch. Up the line, Titular making a great cut, aggressive. Bit more space for the 16 shirt of De La Cruz. De La Cruz looking back to Titular. No space to swing across, that's being marked out. De La Cruz again into the end zone. It's going to be brought down one-handed. Oh, and she's dropped it. Just she made a perfect grab, what seemed like a perfect grab. And it came down. She was under no pressure, really. She'd got the space. The disc was good. Rodriguez for Colombia now, looking off Suarez. Suarez might be free again on the underside. Suarez is going deep. He might be picked off here. Jenny De La Cruz not managed to catch up. Chasing down, there's going to be pressure underneath this. Oh, and a little bit of pressure from the 21 shirt of Paulo Bautista. Just enough to stop the outstretched arms of Higuera, trying to grab that disc out of the sky as it went long. And a little slip we saw there from the Philippines defender that was marking Suarez. Suarez seized on it and went deep, and if the disc had gone to him instead, that would have been an easy grab, but we saw a player go deep which had a marker on him.
A lot of nerves on the field right now. We can feel the intensity all the way up here in the grandstand. Gasping breaths at every throw.
Titular with a big shot. Up into the air, the crowd's looking for this. Coming down, it's going to be a real crowd of people underneath this one. And it's a block. Jeannie De La Cruz complaining about the treatment coming across the top. Can't see the number on the back of, I think it's Suarez, is it? In the 12 shirt for Colombia. Carlos Suarez. But it's, they're going to send it back. almost inevitable in that situation. What, 6, 7 players underneath that disc? There was no chance of a clean grab.
I actually think De La Cruz might have got a hand to there. Unusually, the Philippines not choosing to go to the game advisors is happy to make them call themselves and get sent back. Yeah, it seemed like De La Cruz had position, went up, and maybe got a hit in the back of the hand as he went to grab that disc.
The stall's back on 6. Titcher's going to have to make a fast escape here, and he does. He sends it deep. It's going to be into space, but is there going to be anyone to come down with it? Chasing down the Philippines. Not able to get on the end of that. Chua seeing that disc going to ground frustratingly in front of her. Titular really had no opportunity. Still came back in on 6. No chances for her to get on the end of the disc. And the Colombians with another opportunity, this time to level it up. Sabogal, Suarez. Sabogal again. Toes in. Disc around the back. Keeping the disc moving, the Colombians now. Down the line, Sabogal making a cut, but he's well marked, and marked in just a way to bait him a little bit. Disc over the top. Pressure from the number 10 shirt from the Philippines. Titular putting pressure on that disc. And the Philippines starting again. There's a deep cut going in the... Titular with the disc run out. They've calmed that down. They've not taken the deep shot. 21 shirt is Paulo Batista. Jabs it down the line to De La Cruz. De La Cruz pivoting, looking for options. Founds Titular again. So solid at the back of this handling line. Trusted. Junior De La Cruz sending the disc, and it's out of bounds. The opportunity to take this game away from the Colombians and win it in this mixed pool has been lost. The pressure for these players must be incredible. They're making so many solid passes, and then when they get within sight of the end zone, the nerves kick in, they make a bad decision.
We saw Mika there hanging out in the middle of the end zone. She just wanted that disc put up there. She's feeling confident. She feels she can take any of these Colombian women in the air. She was calling for it, and I'd say if they put it, she might have taken it down.
Having confidence, nobody taking the list. Sabogal with an opportunity to put it deep there. Doesn't take it. Rodriguez is the option instead. Rodriguez in the middle of her own end zone. And has she called a timeout there? A timeout has been called. Timeout Colombia called inside the cap. And an opportunity to catch our breath, Liam. What an absolutely cracking game we're watching here on the show pitch in the mixed division. Philippines down early on in the game. They brought the game back. They overtook Colombia. They were dominant in the first part of the second half of this game. They took a 4-point lead. They were leading Colombia 13-9. It's a game to 14, and the Colombians have just grabbed it back 1 point after another. They've been gritty. They've been determined. Mistakes from both teams all the way through this game, but it's been what a game. And how is it going to finish? Any predictions from here?
Yeah, things are getting intense here, Tom. I can feel my heartbeat. As a neutral spectator, I really hope this one goes to Universe Point, because I'm sure it'll be spectacular. The Colombians starting to look a little hot right now, and if it turns into this hockey game, which it has, this last point, they're a bit taller. They have the players that might be able to take that down.
Yeah, it might come down to a key performance by a couple of key players, and I think we said that earlier in the game, that the game was so evenly matched that if key players had a good game, then it could swing it. And I think Castaneda for Colombia has really stood out for me as a player who sort of grabbed this game by the horns, and he's wrestling it to the ground. The Philippines have tried to contain him, but his athleticism and his throws have really been a force to be reckoned with, driving this Colombian team home. Still interesting to see when Colombia only use their boys, they don't play very well. When they use the whole team and get a bit more expansive, that's when they're really strong, and that's when they're dangerous. And the Philippines have been impressive all the way through. And the Philippines open team down in front of us, at the bottom of the stands, linking hands. They've just been doing press-ups during the timeout. Just pump a little bit.
Yeah, they maybe should have done a bit more before they came here, facing up against the Ireland team. A bit late for that, but I'm loving their spirit, cheering on their team. Dominic Smith there, the game advisor, just calling them back a little bit from the line, settling that Filipino team.
We've got stands here, and the game advisor's been quite wise to insist that if there are stands, that people use the stands. You can see a few of our tournament staff A lot of the neutral spectators have come wandering over, obviously heard the cheers. The next game down here is going to be New Zealand women versus Germany women. But right now they're getting prepared over on the just underneath the camera tower. But right now it's all about Philippines versus Colombia in the mixed division. It's a 1-point game, so game to 14 is the cap, and Philippines with only needing the point to win it. Colombia, and a mistake. The disc to Suarez was too low. He goes down with one hand. This could be it. Titular, a little bit of a clumsy walkthrough from Colombia. I don't think there's anything intentional on that, but it's really distracted Titular. He's got a shot. He had a shot free in the end zone, but he hasn't been able to take it. He looks to reset, calm. Time for patience now. Into the end zone. Batista with the score. Batista with the goal. Philippines with the win. A fantastic game. The pitch is invaded by the open team, and they go and join their mixed team colleagues. What a game we've been able to witness this morning in the mixed division. Colombia and Philippines, tooth and nail, all the way to the end. Fantastic result for the Philippines. Congratulations to them, but also congratulations to the Colombians for putting up a real fight all the way through that game.
Heartbreaks for the Colombians there. They played a great game. You can see a few of the players pulling off their jerseys just to dry their tears. It means a lot to them, and they should have their heads held high because it was a fantastic game to watch, and they did their country proud.
It really was a spectacle, and we hope wherever you are you've enjoyed that one with us. Here on Sky Magazine, you've been listening to Tom Stiles and Liam Grant. We're going to be here. We're probably going to stop the stream and restart it again for our next game, which is Germany women versus New Zealand women. But the story of this one has been the strength of the Philippines team's ability to open up the pitch with their break forces, and the Colombians perhaps being a little bit too reliant on their men at certain parts of the game. And when they decided to use the whole team, they were a force to be reckoned with. Their athleticism and their deep shots in comparison to the Philippines' much more rapid style of play. It's been a fascinating one. We really hope wherever you've been watching in the world, you're enjoying it. We're going to chime out now, and we'll be back again in a short while for Germany. This is Tom Stiles and Liam Grant signing out.
Thank you.